Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Behind the Lens. Right here back with you are Carol Spears and myself, Prash, with another episode where we bring timely, topical insights in a box. And today, we want to talk about this tough topic of isolation. You've heard about it, you've had somebody had it, or you've felt it yourself at some point. We've all probably had this experience in some stage. Right now during the pandemic, isolation is at an all-time high. Both Carol and I have been privy to so many clients, private and organizations, being concerned about how many of their staff are suffering from isolation in some shape or form, and therefore we want to address some of the important things pertaining to this right here in this episode. Carol, what do you have for us?
Well, I think you're exactly right there, Prash, because during the pandemic, it is something we've had to deal with. Isolation has been something we've had to deal with on a regular basis. We were thrown in at the deep end in March, and some people are working by themselves at home, some people are working in a family, and some people are furloughed. So you have a whole combination here of what's going on. And isolation, you may not appreciate that fact, but you can end up with some symptoms of isolation in terms of physiological sadness, irritability, can't concentrate. That's there for all of us. And the challenge is to actually know when you need to do something about it. But COVID-19 has certainly thrown its challenge. Isolation, affecting relationships, or just trying to manage yourself, there could be nothing more important.
Carol, given this situation and the fact that it affects not only employees but leaders too across the levels, can you share some tips about what we can do about this as we get it back into this new normal now?
Yeah, well, we're gradually, slowly easing our way back into this new normal, whatever this new normal is. I'm not quite sure at the moment. But anyway, first and foremost, if you're feeling isolated, just try and identify what it is that you are feeling. You may be feeling sad. You're not quite sure what it is, but it could be due to isolation. So therefore, that's the part that's in some ways outside of your control, because you're maybe living by yourself or maybe living with people still feeling isolated. So let's look at some tips. First of all, stay connected. This obviously Zoom is a very important way of doing that. So whatever it is, make sure you stay connected and actually start thinking about your work. If you're not furloughed and you're actually working, then make a special time during the day, maybe a coffee with somebody, maybe lunch with somebody else, maybe tea with somebody else. So you can actually take control of what it is in terms of trying to alleviate some of that isolation. Buddy up with a partner. Buddy up with a partner and surround yourself with people who are positive. If you start surrounding yourself with negative people, the chances are, unfortunately, that's going to pull you down even more, which is something you don't want to do. Buddy up with people who are going to make you feel good. And thirdly, for goodness sake, take yourself away from the screen. I know we're doing screen now. Take yourself away from the screen. Get yourself outside. Talk to somebody. I don't mind who you talk to. Talk to the postman. Talk to Amazon. I mean, there's plenty of Amazon people delivering all the time. Talk to anybody, a neighbor. It doesn't matter. But actually get yourself communicating so you don't actually feel that huge sense of isolation.
Excellent tips. Folks, let me throw in a couple more on top of the excellent tips that Carol has already shared, in the hope that you can start to apply these or have your team apply them. Number one, explore online co-working sessions. It's kind of following on from what you said, Carol. It's really about buddying up online in the virtual space. Set up a VC, and what I used to run in my corporate world back in those days was running open bridges where you just come together for 90 minutes or 2 hours, block out that time. You can all come together, have the VC on, go on mute, do your work, and you can just unmute and then chime in with somebody in your team where you need a little bit of help. So you don't feel that you're working alone. Everybody's on a bridge working in silence and then speaking up when they need to. Secondly, build or master a new skill. Join some meetup online. There are a lot of meetups, groups, Facebook groups where you can actually go and co-learn something. So a great antidote here for isolation is to actually have that feeling that you're actually learning a new skill. So coming together with other people where there's live webinar trainings, group trainings and things like that. You could be learning you could be learning how to podcast. You could learn a new language. You could go build an online business. So many things for you to do with other people in real time. Lastly, exercise your contribution muscle. Reach out to somebody who wants to who needs a hand. Be an ear or a voice or a physical support for somebody in your neighborhood, your friend, your family member, or teach and mentor someone around you. As Socrates once said, everyone's a teacher in some way. So for you to be able to help somebody else around you, virtually or physically, while co-walking or co-working, is a great asset to have, and it will counteract that feeling of isolation. And lastly, that's it from me. Actually, that is my lot. Carol, any last words?
Yeah, final one, which is if we have any managers who are actually watching this video, to actually be aware that their team could well be feeling lonely and isolated. So be proactive. Don't wait for the employee to speak to you because they may not feel that they should be or it's the right thing to do. Be proactive. Pick up a call. How are you? Tell me how you're feeling, and wait long enough for the response.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you, Carol. And that's it from me as well, folks. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much.